My grandmother knew things about front doors, things that nobody ever thought to write down. She did not learn them from a book. She learned by watching what happened to families, by noticing what others simply walked straight past. I want to tell you about the Feldmans. They moved into the most beautiful home on our street. New paint on every wall, a wide front entrance, fresh curtains hung in every single window. My grandmother stood outside and watched them carry things in. She did not say a single word that day. 3 months later, they were completely gone. Their furniture was sitting out on the curb. The bank had already changed the locks by morning. I asked my grandmother what had happened to them. She did not look the least bit surprised. She said she had already known from the very beginning. She knew the moment she first saw their front door. She never shared that with anyone outside our family. She is sharing it through me right now. The front door is not simply decoration. In Jewish home wisdom, it is the border gate of your household. It is the line between your family and everything outside. What crosses that threshold follows your family inside. Not just people, not just deliveries or packages. Energy follows through a door that has no guardian. Direction follows, consequence follows, the pattern of what keeps arriving. The mezuzah on the doorpost is not superstition or decoration. It is a declaration that this home stands under deliberate protection, that what enters here has been considered and honored carefully, that this family understands the difference between inside and outside. Most modern families have broken this border without realizing it at all. They did not lose money because they stopped working hard. They lost it because they quietly and unknowingly broke the gate. And no bank ever thought to mention the front door. No finance book ever stopped at the threshold to explain this. The women who carried this wisdom kept it inside the family, inside the kitchen, inside the conversation before Shabbat began, mother to daughter, quietly, without ceremony or announcement. You have probably been doing everything right by modern measures. Budgeting as carefully as you can, saving wherever possible, working hard and still watching something quietly slip away. Still feeling that the home never quite settles into peace. Still carrying a current of financial pressure you cannot fully trace. I want you to look at your front door tonight, because the answer may be standing right there. Safta Leah was the kind of woman who saw everything. She could walk into any room and feel what was wrong. Not obviously wrong, not visibly cracked or broken or stained. Wrong in that quiet way that only years of attention teach you. She never allowed a single object near our front door overnight. As a small child, I thought this was simply about tidiness. I assumed she liked things neat, orderly, and in their place. The night before my wedding, she took both of my hands. She held them quietly the way she always did before saying something important. She looked at me and said, "A door that cannot breathe cannot let blessing in." I was too young that night to fully understand her meaning, but I have stood at my own front door many times since. I have felt the heaviness of a cluttered, unattended entrance. I have felt what it means when a threshold is truly open, and I have felt what it means when one has quietly closed itself. I understand now exactly what she was teaching me that night. There are 5 things Jewish mothers never allow near the front door. 5 things quietly blocking what is meant to reach your home. Let me walk you through every single one of them. The first is broken or cracked objects. A cracked ceramic pot sitting beside the entrance. A chipped ornament you have not truly noticed in months. A broken umbrella stand you keep meaning to replace. A welcome mat so badly frayed it no longer welcomes anything. In Jewish tradition, a broken vessel cannot hold blessing inside it. It receives and then it leaks before anything can settle. The Talmud teaches that a vessel with a hole does not truly receive. What is poured into it is lost before it can remain. When a broken object rests at the gate of your home, you are placing a symbol of leakage in the most important position. You are telling your entrance this home tolerates cracks, that things slipping through here is acceptable. Your grandmother would have removed it before Shabbat arrived. No explanation, no announcement, just quietly and firmly corrected. She would have replaced it with something whole and intentional. Even a single, smooth, unbroken stone placed near the doorway. Even a simple clay bowl sitting ready and whole. Because wholeness at the gate signals this home is prepared to receive. And readiness is always what blessing moves toward first. The second is empty vessels or vases. An empty glass vase placed near your front entrance. A hollow decorative bowl sitting completely unfilled near the door. A beautiful container near the threshold holding absolutely nothing. An empty vessel at the front door sends one clear message. This home is still waiting and has not yet been filled. And what we signal at the gate tends to arrive through it. Jewish mothers always placed something inside a vessel kept near the door: water, a small coin, a single living flower, a handful of rice, a careful pinch of salt, not for decoration or display, but for fullness and signal. To say clearly at the entrance itself that this home already has, that it is filled and prepared to receive even more. Take a small bowl tonight, something simple you already own. Place a little salt inside it, or a coin that carries meaning. Set it near your entrance and notice the difference within a single day. The third is old worn shoes left on the step. Think carefully about where your shoes have been today. Every difficult errand, every anxious and crowded rush, every heavy atmosphere your feet carried you through outside, every pavement, every strained and difficult moment you walked yourself through. Shoes carry the energy of everywhere they have traveled. In Jewish home wisdom, the boundary of the home is a real and deliberate line. The outside world does not walk itself inside uninvited through your door. The threshold exists precisely to separate what is inside from what is outside. Old worn shoes left on the front step bring everything back inside again. Morning after morning, night after night, without anyone ever noticing the pattern. Safta Leah kept one pair of clean, soft slippers just inside our door. The moment she crossed the threshold, she changed her shoes without exception. The boundary was the shoe itself, nothing more elaborate than that. What happened outside stayed outside where it belonged. Store your outdoor shoes in a closed box or a cabinet away from the entrance. Let clean slippers be what your feet find the moment you come home. The home should feel like a true and complete arrival every single time. The fourth is clutter or boxes blocking the path to the door. Delivered packages stacked near the entrance for 4 or 5 days. Bags set down because later still has not arrived for them. A piece of furniture pushed too close to the front entrance. A stroller half folded against the wall because there is nowhere else for it right now. In Jewish wisdom, the path to the front door must remain fully open. A blocked entrance quietly blocks what is trying hard to arrive. The Talmud teaches that the door of a home is its face. You cannot cover a face and still expect to be recognized. Think about that image for just one moment. What is trying to reach your home cannot find a buried door. Provision requires an open passage to follow inside. Blessing needs a clear path that leads all the way in. Mezuzah. Clear the area near your front entrance tonight before you sleep. Not the entire house, just the entrance, nothing more than that. Move one thing, open the path by even a small amount, because you are not simply tidying a neglected and forgotten corner. You are opening the gate for what is meant to arrive. The fifth is a broken or dim light above the entrance, a bulb that flickers weakly the moment you switch it on. A fixture that has not worked properly in several long months. A front porch, sitting entirely dark long after the sun has set. A dark entrance is an unwelcoming entrance. Always. In every Jewish home I grew up knowing, the entrance was lit, not harshly, warmly, gently, like a true welcome waiting at the door. Because a lit entrance says someone lives here and someone is ready. Something good has been invited and is fully expected to arrive. Jewish mothers lit the entrance for the Shabbat bride every single week, for guests who were coming, for provision already on its way. Light at the door is hospitality made completely and quietly. It's visible. A dark or broken light sends a quiet message to everything approaching your home. It says no one is waiting here for anything at all. It says nothing good is expected at this particular address tonight. It says move past, there is nothing here to stop for. Safta Leah checked her entrance light every Erev Shabbat without exception. If the bulb even flickered once, she replaced it that same evening. Not from fear, not from superstition, from understanding what attention truly means. A home that is prepared receives differently than one that is not. Replace that dim bulb this week, tonight if you possibly can. Do not let your entrance stay dark for one more Shabbat. Tonight, I want you to do only one thing. Walk slowly to your front door right now. Not to clean the entire house from the beginning, not to rearrange everything all at once tonight. Simply walk to your front door and look at it carefully. Look at it as if you are seeing it for the very first time. Is there a cracked object sitting near the entrance right now? An empty vessel holding nothing near the threshold? Old worn shoes sitting on that step far too long? A path that feels tight and closed and difficult to move through? A dim or broken light above the entrance you keep forgetting? You do not need to fix everything tonight. You only need to attend to one single thing. Jewish mothers did not correct all of this at once. They did it quietly and consistently every single week of their lives, without announcing their methods to anyone outside the home, without explaining what they were doing or asking for recognition, just noticing, just correcting, just keeping the gate clear for blessing, just honoring the entrance the way their mothers had taught them to. This tradition does not ask for perfection from you at all. It asks only for steady, deliberate, and faithful attention. Attention, in Jewish home wisdom, is itself a form of kavod, of honor, of telling your home you take it seriously. When you honor the entrance, you tell your household something quietly powerful. You tell it that what is meant to arrive is truly welcome here. Write this in your comments right now. Just these words: my door is ready for abundance. Not because it is a formula or a magic phrase, because it is an intention placed clearly at the right threshold. And intentions placed at the right threshold change what you notice. They change what you do. They change what follows you home. If this felt like something your grandmother would have said to you in a quiet kitchen with the door half closed behind you both, you are in exactly the right place. Subscribe, because every week I share the household wisdom, the wisdom Jewish mothers pass down inside the home itself, not from any pulpit, not from any public platform or stage, woman to woman, kitchen to kitchen, threshold to threshold, across generations. Next, I am going to show you what Jewish mothers always check, what they quietly check inside the kitchen before Shabbat begins. Something most modern families have completely and quietly forgotten. It may explain something about your home you have long wondered about. May what is meant for you find its way to your door.